dashboard in Excel, and we are going to be making use of the FIFA 21 data set that has been thoroughly cleaned. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so this is my Excel, and here I have the data set. I'm sure you're familiar with these data sets. We have the ID, photo URL, and all of these column headers that explains what we have in each column. So now, before you start your analysis, you have to know what you want to do. You have to be able to identify what you want to analyze. So I would advise that you have a list of the things you want to analyze. Do you want to know the players with the highest potential? Do you want to know the highest number of the players with the highest number of wages? Do you want to know those that have least wages? You just have to identify and define what you want to analyze with your dashboard. You know, dashboard is not just a design, is analyzing your data, but it has to do with visualizing it. You know, that's when you have to work with the colors, the charts, and all of that in your dashboard. All right, so now before you do anything here, you have to insert table in your data set, just as I have done. Now you can see that there's a table applied to this. So if you want to apply a table to your data set, you have to use this ribbon here, insert here, and then you see insert table. Now this is null now because I already inserted a table to it. Or you press Ctrl T, that's a shortcut for that. All right, so let's get right into our visualization, shall we? All right, so the thing you have to do after you get your data fitted in a table, you have to insert a pivot table. Okay, so I'm sure most of us are familiar with working with pivot table. So let's go here. What you have to do is select a part of your data set, and then you click on insert. See insert pivot table. So it will request for the range of table you are working with, but because we inserted it directly from here, it has selected the table itself, has highlighted the old data set. So you can see new worksheet or existing worksheet. Do you want it to be on a new worksheet, or do you want it to be in that same worksheet that you're working with? But then of course not, we don't want it to be here. So we get it right into a new worksheet. All right, so click on OK. My data is loading. All right. So the first thing I like to do is to rename here, to name my data or pivot table, so that I won't get it mixed up when I'm trying to get my charts out of them. All right. So here, the first thing I want to know is I want to know the age range of players and their numbers. So we'll be working with age range pivot table. Age range pivot table. Okay. So you have it named. But before I do that, I want to copy this to order to new worksheet so that I won't have to reinsert pivot table when I need to visualize another set of the data. All right, so I'm going to be clicking on Control Shift, and I will be dragging it to this plus sign here. All right, so there you have it. You can see Adrian too because we kind of have the same name. So I don't know what I'm going to be, we don't know what we're going to be visualizing in the second part yet. We've not gotten to it yet. So I'll just leave it as Adrian 2 and then copy another one. But we most definitely will need more than one pivot table. Okay, so I'm going to be copying this. I'm going to be copying this, Control Shift, then you drag, then you drop here. Okay, drag and drop here. Right, so you have age range 3. So let's go back to the first age range and work with it. All right, so when you select your pivot table here, you have the pivot table field displayed on your screen. Okay, so what do we want to know? We want to know the age range of the players and the number of players in that age range. It can be used, this kind of analysis can be used to make decisions. Let's say your client wants to know the age range of the player so as to know the players that would be dismissed if they are kind of older, or they would know, they would just have an idea of the age range of the players that they are working with. All right, so the first thing is to do is to drag the age range into the rows option here. You see filters, you see, okay, okay, so you drag the age range, you drag it to the rows here, then you have it here. You have the ages of all the players here. So let me click on this filter to see if we have any dirty thing in our data set. So just to be sure, all right, we don't have any, we are good to go. So I'll be selecting the number of the players, the name of the players, and I would be dragging it to the value so that it can count the number of players in that age range. So I'm going to be dragging it here, values. So you'd see immediately count of names and then the role labels. So we have 16, we have 35 people. But if we visualize this data, we are going to have not an issue, by the way, but it's going to be too bulky and difficult to interpret. So we want to know the age range, not just the number of players for each age. So what we do is you select one of the data in the row labels, just like this, and then you right click, you go ahead to group. When you get to group, all you have to do is to specify the range that you want it to group by. So here I want 10, but I think 10 is too much. So let me make it 8. Okay, voila. You can see that the ages of the players have been grouped. We have 16 to 23, we have 24 to 31, and the like. So I'm going to be getting rid of this grand total because I don't actually need it. So I'm going to be going ahead to design. So you can see pivot table tools here. This is what you work with. So design, and then I go ahead to grand totals. So once I click on grand totals, I'm going to get it off for the rows and columns. So you see it disappear. All right. So the next thing is to get right into our visualization. So I will be inserting, you don't forget to click on one of the cells of the table that you're working with. So I click on one of them and then I click on insert, and I get to select the column that I want, which is the 2D column chart. Okay, so I'm going to be dragging this up here. So I'll be getting rid of this total because we obviously do not need it. All right, so I'm going to be renaming this. Double click and then you rename, and then we want it to be age range, age range of players. Exactly. Okay, so let's get this out. All right, let's get this out here. Okay, so we have the age range of players. Now one thing I like to do is to get rid of these grid lines. I just prefer them on a plain background because these grid lines might be a bit distracting. So I'm going to be selecting this plus sign here. With this plus sign here, you can work with your chart. So here you can unselect the axis if you don't want it to be displayed. But of course, we want it to be displayed because how are we going to know the numbers of players that are in those age ranges? All right, so you select this We have chart title, which is this here. We need it, so we are not going to be getting rid of that. But what we want to get rid of is the grid lines. Okay, so the grid lines is going to be out. And then we have our chart. So we are good to go with this. We have the age range of players displayed right on your screen. Okay, so okay, sorry, I have to save this. Okay, okay, so make it FIFA dashboard. FIFA dashboard. Okay, so going back to it, we have to work with another pivot table. So what I want to know now is I want to know the players with the highest potential. I want to know the top 10 players with the highest potential. So sorry, it's loading, saving rather. Okay, so now let's go here and then we'll edit it first. Remember, edit it and change it to potential. Potential. Yeah. Okay. So we want to know the number of players with the highest number of with the highest potential. So what we do is we drag the names, we drag it to the rows because we want to have the names here on the left side. So we have it here, and then we are going to be selecting the player's potential and we'll be putting it in the values here. So it's not supposed to come off as sum. So we are going to be editing it here, value fit setting. So instead of sum, we are going to be having it as show value as uh okay. So we have no okay. So we're going to be having it as, let's say, the percentage of the grand total. Okay, no way, no way. Let me check the data set. Okay, so where is the potential? I want to see how, like, potential. Okay, so we have it in percentage. All right, so we have it in percentage. I was thinking it's in, okay, so we have the percentage of each player here. So this is written as in decimal. It's written in decimal, but we need to convert it to percentage. We want it to have the percentage. So go to value feed setting, just like we did there, and then we have it as percentage. Show value as percentage. Okay, let's just do it here. So show value as percentage. But since it's in percentage already, I don't think we actually need to have it. Yeah, because if I make it percentage of grand total, it's going to affect the nature of the data. So let's just work with this. Okay, so let's go right into. So we want to know the number of players that have the highest potential. Let's say 10, the highest potentials, the top 10. So what we are going to be doing is to select this cell as usual, and then you go right into you you select this one instead. Sorry, select this row here, this filter icon here, and then you go right into value filters. Sorry, is loading. It's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Okay, so we have it now. And I'm going to be going with value filters. So we are going to be having top 10 because I want to know the number of players with the highest potential. Okay, so it's loading now. It's loading. So remember that it is in percentage. That means this is 78%. This is 66%. This is 68%. Okay, so we have top 10 by this. So, okay, you can see that we have the highest, the players with the highest potentials here. Adama Traore has the highest here, and Victor Guzman has the least here. So let's input our data. Let's input our data, our charts, I mean. So we're using this here. You can see that we have them here, here. So dragging this to this point. And then as usual, I would edit it out or remove the grid lines. And then I would rename this to layers. What just happened? So I'll be changing this to, okay, let's get it back. Chat title. I'll be changing this to potential players with players with highest potential. Okay, so this is set now. Let's go straight into the next one. So we are going to be having another one, and this is going to be the country versus the number of players in that country, because a client might want to know the countries with the highest number of players and the least players so that they will know where to get their footballers from. Okay, so let us go here, our third pivot table. So we'll be editing this to, I said country, right? Country. Okay. So I'll select this here, and then we'll go right into the nationality. Select the nationality here. It goes into the rows, and then we select the names of the players. So what do we want to know? We want to know the number of the name should be here, so it can just count it for us. Yeah. All right. So we want to know the number of the list of countries with the least players. We want to know the list of countries with the least players. So as usual, we're going to be sorting by we are going to be selecting only, sorry, it's supposed to be here, selecting only the bottom 10. So you go here and then you select the value filters, and then you select top 10. From there you change it to bottom instead of top because we want to know the top 10. So the bottom 10 rather. So you can see that we have one, one, one. They are all one, 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 one. And let's just work with let's work with the top 10 so that we can have different values. Let's work with the top 10. So we have top 10 here. Okay, well, let's see top 8. Top 8. Exactly. So you can see the Argentina, we have France. Let's sort them out by the number. So we have sort here. You right click on the one of the cells here, then you sort from smallest to largest here. So you can clearly see that this one has the highest number of players in that team. Okay, so insert as usual, select this here, insert, and then as usual, we're going to be working with let's work with the bar chart now. Let's work with the bar chart now. Yes, so that we can have them look exactly like, let it feel, let us have the feeling that it's something in ascending order from the smallest to the largest. So then let us get this out of the way, just as we should, and then we rename this to players, players with with list potential. Okay, so my clients can clearly see that. Oh, did I just say potential? No, it's not potential. It's countries, players, number of players per countries, number of players by countries. Okay. So there we have it. Then we get rid of these grid lines. We get rid of these grid lines here. So this is set. All right, so one more until we set our data. We have 1, 2, 3 now. So I just want us to have one more chart. So I want us to work with the pie chart. Let me drag. Oh, I should have dragged it before. Okay. So before you drag, make sure you have selected the pivot table first. Okay, so I'm going to be dragging this. Sorry, I had to save it. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to be dragging this here. Then I have country 2, but we don't want country 2. What do we want to know? Let me see. Let me get this out first. Okay, so I need to name it something for now. All right, so let me get this out of the way. All right, so let's say I want us to work with the pie chart, and pie chart is uh you have to work with should I say a group of data that is less than 5. Once it gets to 5, even 4 is quite many, but can still go with it. But if it is more than 5 or 5 and above, then your pie chart won't give won't give you that much interpretation of your data, or should I say it would look too bulky. Pie chart is supposed to be as simple as possible. 3, 2, 4 group of data in your pie chart. So we are going to be working with the pie chart now, and what we are going to be doing is to determine the players with club and the players without club. So we want to know the percentage of players with club and with players without club. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is to drag this. Okay, hold on. Let me see the rest of the data set. Okay, so I'm going to be dragging this club here to the rows here, and you can see that we have lots of club here. So we have them here, and then we have no club here as well. So we are also going to be having the number of players, because we want to know the number of players with no club and the number of players with club. Okay, so what we are going to be doing is to filter it again. is to filter it again and okay. So okay, okay. I think we'd have to work with a different. Uh, Give me a minute, please. So and then just want to see. Okay. So we deselect all and select only no club. So like I said, for the club part, we want to create a pie chart. But before then, we have to know the total number of players with club and players with no club. Now, I had this typed out and I got it from the data set. Here's what I did. I calculated the number of players with clubs. So look at the function here. Count if this range has no club. So to only count the ones with no club. And then for the second column, here is how I counted that of those that have no club. So I say count if club range is no club. So it gave me 237 and then I had them typed out here. So here's how we're going to insert our chart. We're going to select all of the short data here. Select them. Then you click on insert. Click on insert, then your pie chart. Okay. So you can see that we have, let me drag it here. Sorry. Let me drag it up here. So we have this blue is with no club and this orange is with club. So you can see that orange takes a larger share of the pie chart. So we are going to be editing this and number of players per club of players per club. Okay. So we have that fixed already, but then we need to see the numbers here because seeing this, yes, I know that this is smaller, but then I need to know what exact number make up this whole uh, chart. So I'm going to be activating the data labels here. Okay, so you can see that the data label is displayed. So I want to, we're going to edit this. You right click, format series. Then you see the data labels here. So you can show the size, but I think you can edit this now. The alignment. So if you want it to be at the middle, horizontal, and whatnot, just all of those properties there. So then you have text options. If you want it to have a background or text outline or whatnot, you have that there. So, okay, this is supposed to display the number of players for that have no club too. So let me see. We have the label selected. Let's just click here and see what's happening. Outside end. Okay. I honestly do not know why it's not displaying. Why 237 is not displaying. Because it is supposed to display. So let me just let's click on this and let's see what we have here. So we have format data labels. Let's see. So we have the value, series name, no way. We can edit this. We can edit this, but I'm expecting this to show. I'm expecting that of 3237 to show, and I don't know why it's not showing. I don't know why it's not showing. Let me try to delete this and go over it again. So select this and then we insert the pie chart. Insert the pie chart and then we have data labels activated. Okay, yes, yes, ma. So I'm going to be dragging this up. So we have the 237 there now. So I'm going to be dragging this up here, move here. So we're going to be dragging that there. So we have that there, and I want to drag this out. I don't want it to be inside, so I'm going to bring it in here. Yeah. So I'm going to be bringing this down here. Okay. So it's giving it a line, but we can always delete that. Delete. Okay. So we have it ready now. So let's go ahead to create our dashboard. So our dashboard is going to be on another sheet, and then we'll be renaming this with dashboard. Exactly. So our dashboard is called FIFA 21 dashboard. So first we are going to insert a shape here. We're going to insert a shape here. So let's try to bring out our uh, let's bring out our charts. Let's bring out our chart. So here we're going to be copying and we're pasting it in the dashboard. So what we do is to paste it. Let's just put it here. We're going to rearrange it. So we paste it here. Let's get this out of the way. So we paste it there. Then we copy that of club too. You just click on it. Then you press Control Copy. You go to your dashboard. You paste it somewhere here. Control Paste. Sorry, I already copied that blank cell. So we copy this and then we move to our dashboard. Click on Control Paste. Then potential. We have potential here. Control Copy. And then Control Paste again. Control V. So our last chart. Where is our last chart, which is the age range? Control Copy. And then to our dashboard. Let me put it somewhere here. Control Paste. So I like to have them on my dashboard first or dashboard sheet first before so that I can know how to arrange them. So now we have them all set here and then we can edit and edit until we are good with what we have. So insert here, you have the shapes here. We want to put in a long rectangle at the top. But before then, let me scroll up here. Okay, so we are going to be putting it here. Yeah, so we're putting that here. Let's see our dashboard is from here to here. We can always extend it, and we can always move it around. Do you get? If you want to put it at the middle, if you want to put it at the side, so just have that there. And then you also insert, because you can't type directly on the shape, you have to insert a text box. So you put it here. So here I can have FIFA dashboard, FIFA dashboard. So all I have to do is to enlarge it. So I'm going to be making it bigger. Let's give it 20 or 24. Wait. Okay, so let's put it to 24, and then we have it here. We have the FIFA dashboard here. So let's say I want to change the color of this shape. I'll highlight it, and then I'm going to go to home. So okay, I'll highlight it and head to format. You can see the driving to here, format. So I'm trying to format this shape. Sorry, format this shape here. So you can see a lot of options here. Once you select this, you would see different colors, different stuffs in here. So before you go ahead to create your dashboard, you have to decide on the color that you want to work with. And color is a very important aspect of data analysis, of data visualization, because that is what your audience would be seeing, and they have to be able to relate with the color. So there's a color code called 60 30 10. 60 is the color that would dominate, that would be more like a background color. 30 is going to be color that would have 30%, and then you have 10%. But sometimes you can just make do with two colors. So today I'm going to be going sorry. So today I'm going to be going with the blue color. Okay. But we might just here. So just click on tab, and then you have it in the middle. So then I'm going to change the format of this here because it's just looking too serious. So I'm going to be changing the format. I'll be changing the format to something beautiful. So let's have this Algerian. Okay. So and then I'm going to be changing the color. I'm going to be giving it a better color. So let's make it white. Let's make it white instead of black. And let's see what we have. So here's our final look. I think our dashboard is looking good. So now we can work with the rest of the data set. But then before then, I want to do something. I want to apply slicers. So slicers is more like a way of filtering your data. So I'll be applying slicers to the country chart. Okay, I didn't copy it here. Let me go and copy it. So I'm going to be copying this, control copy, and then you go to your dashboard. If you want to apply a slicer, what you do is you click on the chart, then you go to insert. So when you click on insert, you would see slicer here. Do you see slicer here? So you select slicer, and then it will ask that what do you want to slice? Do you want to slice orange or pineapple? No, we are not slicing that. Now I want to slice country. So you click on country, you scroll down to look for country, okay, I think we have it as nationality here. Yep. So nationality. Okay. Then you click on OK. And then you would have your slicer. You can see that you have the list of countries here. And you can also clear the filter. If you don't want the filter, then you clear it, but we've not filtered it yet. So we are going to be dragging the slicer to the right, to the left part of the dashboard, and then we're going to be making it smaller. Yes, making it very small because we don't want our dashboard to look too big. So we have our slicer here. So when you click on a particular country, let me bring this here so you see what's happening. When you click on a particular country, you see the number of countries. You don't have to try to start looking for it. So when you click on Adora, you can see that Adora has one, just one number of player. If you click on Antigua, see that it has just four. You see that it automatically adjusts the numbers for you. So you can even try to select more than two. What you do is just select one, you put your cursor on one, and then you go to the one you want to select as well. Then you click on control, and then you select control select. So you'd see that we have the two. Let me take this out from here. I just have it here. So you see that when you click on the three now, you'd have the three here. So let's clear the filters. That would have just those ones there. Okay, sorry. So you can see that here now we have all of the players, but we don't want all of the players. We only want the ones that we select. So you can always navigate. You can only select one, you can only select three, and the likes. So that's what filter does. So let's get this here, and then we start to arrange our dashboard. Now, your if you are using a if you are using multiple column charts, they have to be well aligned. So what you do is you drag this here right under the header. Then you try to adjust it to make it smaller. Yeah, so that your dashboard can be understandable. So we are going to be taking this out of the way. What you do is you select it, you right click, and then you see hide value field button on chart or hide all field button on chart. When you select this, both of them will disappear, so you don't have them disturbing your data. So let's put this here because they are both column charts. Then we'll adjust it so they align. Adjust it. So let's do the same for this. Let's remove the the filter here. So you select it, you right click, and then you hide all field buttons on chart. So you have this here, this way. So you can always adjust it. Okay. So let's bring our pie chart here. Let's bring it here because it is the only pie chart there, and then we have to be careful with how we place it. So let's edit this title here. We don't even need to give it a title because it is obvious that you can see that these are the number of players with clubs and no clubs. But if you are not comfortable with not putting chart title, you can go ahead to create a title for it. Okay, so moving on. What we can do is to edit the legend. What we can do is to edit the legend, but we are going to be doing that before you create your chart. So you just go back here and then you edit it such that it reflects on your dashboard. So you just put it here, players with no club, and then here you have players with club. So okay, I made a mistake here. So with no club. Alright, so you see that it has reflected on your, let me get this out. So you can see that it has reflected on your dashboard. So let's get this here. Let's get this here. Let me make it small before I push it there. Make it a bit small that it can fit into that position. So okay, so you can see that so let me get this title out like I said first. So you can see how small it is now. Let me adjust this a bit. So sorry. So you drag this and put it here. Exactly. So let's shift this a bit so we can adjust them. So this dashboard is basically adjusting and adjusting and adjusting until it fits the goal of what you are trying to achieve. So I will extend this a bit so it can have breathing space. Let's allow it to breathe. Okay. So we adjust this too. Okay. So let's adjust this a bit too so that it can be aligned. Yeah, I want it to be aligned exactly. So we are coming back to this because we are going to be changing the color. We can't have orange here and then have blue here. It don't even look like the okay. So let's bring the age range of players. Oh, I copied it twice. I copied it twice. Let me get this out. Okay. So we have our bar charts with the players. So we have it here with the players. And remember that it is just the top 10 that we need. It was the slicers that gave us all of this. So you have it here. So you can see that there is nothing to put here. So let's just make this a bit longer like this. Okay. Sorry. That's too long. That is too long. That is too long. Okay. Here. Let me scroll up to see if it fits. It's too long. So we adjust it so it's not too long. Okay. I think it's better now. So you have to make sure that they are all aligned. Okay. So you click here and then let's remove this hide all field buttons on chart. So I want this to be aligned with this. So I'll just adjust it. Just adjust it here. Okay. So we are about to complete our simple, very simple dashboard. Very simple dashboard. So I want to adjust this a bit. It's too long because they have to be aligned. Remember, they have to be aligned. So let me adjust this a bit here like this. Okay. So I have this here. Okay. I have my filter here. So let's change the color of this one. Let's change the color. Let's change the color. So we have color here. Let's see. I think this is too bright. Let's take something blue. Okay. But it's just that with this, you won't really see. You won't really see. Let's have this one. I think this is good. think this is good. Is it good? Is it good? No. Let's go again. Let's select a better color so that we can have a very sharp. Okay, so you just go through here. Okay, I think I like this one. This one is sharper. Or was it this one? Okay, it was this one. This one is sharper. Exactly. So we are good to go. You can see that because this number is very large, larger than this one. That is why it almost looks like it's closing up. But this number here would help us as well as the legend. Now, I still have to align them. I still have to align them. So, but before then, let us get rid of these grid lines here. You need to be getting rid of these grid lines. And how to do that is to go ahead to view here. Click on view here, and then you unselect grid lines and you see that they will disappear exactly. So you have your dashboard looking all clean. You have them looking clean. So let us adjust this again such that it aligns well, such that it aligns well. So I'm going to be making this closer to this here. Okay. Okay, we're going to be done soon. Almost done. So we're going to realign. We're going to realign and realign, realign and realign just to make sure that they all fit. They all fit. That's what we are trying to do. We are trying to make sure that yes, 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 yes. So you're going to trying to make sure that it is all fit and they are looking okay. So let me bring this down a bit so that it can be aligned with this one again. So I think we are good to go. We have our dashboard right in our face. This is a very simple dashboard. So as time goes on, as you perform more analysis, as you work on more projects, you're going to you're going to come across different kind of dashboards, and you are going to see that you can actually play around with your dashboard depending on what you are working with. You can see that I only use two colors. You can use more than two, like three colors, but you have to make sure you are very careful with the colors that you are using. So our dashboard is looking okay. I can actually remove this Z line or frame around each chart, but for this lesson, this is just a basic, an introduction to dashboard in Excel, and it is interactive because you can always select your nationality and it will affect this here. So one other thing that I want us to just look at is how you can change the background color. Let's say you want to change the background color of this cell. Now what you do is select a part of the cell, then you right click. When you right click, you'd see format cells here. So when you click on format cells, you'd see uh you'd see the alignment, you'd see border, you'd see fill. So we are going to fill. So you can see that there is no color here. But then let's say we want it to be very light blue. What you do is just select this light blue here. You can see that it gives you a sample, and then you click on OK. So you'd have it on your, oh sorry, we're supposed to select the O cells. So you select the O cell first, then you right click, select the O cells first, and then you right click on one of the cells, then you click on format cells and you change the color of your cell. Let's have blue. Change the color of your cell. So you click on OK. See that all have been changed, and you can even see your dashboard more clearly. And you can also go ahead to adjust. You adjust and you adjust and you adjust until you are satisfied. But then I don't think we need the background color. I think we are okay with what we add. So that was just a way to show us how to do that. So you just keep adjusting until you are fine with your dashboard. So thank you very much for this class. This is the end of this class. So don't forget to practice. Go ahead to check on other dashboard that you can try to recreate. You try to think of how they came up with it, then you work with yours. But this is a very simple dashboard that can be easily understood by your clients. So thank you very much for having me.